Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to the channel. Social Security is a huge factor when it comes to retirement for many Americans. In fact, according to recent research from the Social Security Administration, of current retirees, 49% say Social Security is their primary source of income in retirement, which means deciding when to take Social Security is a big question. How do you know? What's the best age to take Social Security? Well, there are two primary ages when people are most likely to take it. One is early at the age 62, and the other is full retirement age, which is either 66 or 67, depending on when you were born. You can delay taking until 70, thereby further increasing your benefits, but only a small percentage of people actually do this. Now, of course, you can claim any time between the age of 62 and 70, just different ages are more popular for various reasons. Claiming before full retirement age reduces your benefit, and claiming after full retirement age increases your benefit. Claiming early at 62 will reduce your benefit by 30% of your full retirement age. And delaying claiming until 70 will increase your benefit by 24% of your full retirement age amount. Now, at first glance, it may seem like a simple question, like, what's the best age to retire? But as with most financial questions, it's far more complex than simple surface level. It involves a lot of deliberate thought, calculations, a best guesstimate on your life expectancy, and an analysis of opportunity costs. And ultimately, it's a personal decision. What's best for you and your life circumstances? But what if we were to look at it strictly from a mathematical perspective and ask that question, what's the best age to claim Social Security? For this example, we are going to use 67 as full retirement age because I don't want to have to deal with calculating the fractional months. First, let's consider the max Social Security benefit available as of 2022. Please keep in mind that Social Security is set to get an 8.7% cost of living increase in 2023, but this video is being made in 2022, so these are the numbers we're going to use. The earlier you collect, the lower the benefit you lock in, but over a longer time horizon. But there comes a break-even point. A point where the total lifetime amount you receive from Social Security is greater if you delay collecting your benefits to full retirement age, or even delayed retirement age. And that break-even point hits at age 79 if you compare collecting at 62 versus 67, and at age 80 if you compare collecting at 62 versus 70, and it hits at 81 if you compare collecting at 67 versus 70. Now, it's important to note that those ages and those numbers are based off someone receiving the maxed allowable amount by Social Security at the respective ages. Now, obviously, most people don't receive the maxed allowable amount by Social Security. I use those numbers because those are the ones that are readily accessible, meaning those are the ones published by the Social Security Administration. The average Social Security check is actually about $1,547, but that's across all age brackets. The Social Security Administration hasn't released the average benefit amount at specific ages between 62 and 70, but they have released it for full retirement age. So I made this table based on that average payout of $2,484 per month at full retirement age. I discounted it 30% for an estimate at age 62 and increased the benefit 24% for an average estimate at the age of 70. Notably, there are a couple break-even differences for ages. The first comes when comparing taking Social Security at 62 versus full retirement age. That break-even hits 1 year earlier at age 78. Then when we compare collecting at full retirement age versus 70, it hits 1 year later at age 82. So you could make statements like, if you were to pass away any time before the age of 78 or 79, you would be better off collecting Social Security early at the age of 62. But if you live to the age of 82 or beyond, you're better off delaying collecting your benefits to the age of 70 in terms of net benefit received. Now, still, those are somewhat of a surface level analysis, because you have opportunity costs to consider, as in what else could your money be doing? If you retire at 62, odds are you're going to need an income source of some form, whether that's coming from Social Security or your own investments. So let's look at opportunity costs. Let's say we have a retiree who retires at 62 but doesn't draw Social Security. They're allowing their benefit to increase. Instead, they withdraw from their own investments the exact same amount that they otherwise would have received from Social Security. If we use the numbers from our initial example, you would be drawing $28,368 per year. By the time our retiree has reached the age of 67, they would have withdrawn about $170,000. However, if that money was instead left invested and not withdrawn, it could have grown to $207,000 using a 6% rate of return, or $221,000 using a more aggressive 8% rate of return. So in a way, delaying taking your Social Security and drawing on your own investments has a pretty big opportunity cost. And in terms of what you were able to draw out and what that money would have otherwise grown to, that's a difference of $37,000 to $51,000 depending on your rate of return, assuming you had that money otherwise invested in the market from age 62 to 67. Then let's say our retiree starts drawing Social Security at full retirement age, 67. We have to keep in mind the opportunity cost they've already faced. They were withdrawing on their own investments for those 5 years from 62 to 67. Let's assume our retiree lives to the age of 80. Let's refer back to those investments and what they otherwise could have grown to had they been left invested. At a 6% rate of return, by the time they reach the age of 80, that would have grown to $443,000. Or at an 8% rate of return, it could grow to over $600,000. From a numbers perspective, drawing Social Security early and leaving your money invested actually seems to allow you to come out ahead financially. But some pretty big assumptions were made in this scenario. First and foremost being that our retiree actually had a nest egg large enough to support themselves and are not reliant on Social Security. Quite frankly, most Americans are not in this position. Most Americans don't have enough invested that they can actually sustain themselves. This also doesn't consider other alternatives, like perhaps our retiree had access to other income streams or access to a pension that would otherwise make it so they didn't have to draw on their investments. This scenario only considered the either or of drawing on investments or taking Social Security early. It's also worth mentioning that stock market returns are not guaranteed and Social Security benefits are, and many people as they approach retirement or are actually in retirement want a guaranteed stream of income. You can run all the numbers you want and be like, well, statistically, if you choose option A, you're more likely to end up with a higher nest egg. But choosing option A isn't the right choice if it makes it so you can't sleep at night. Claiming Social Security at the age of 62 is the most common age simply because that's the earliest age at which people can claim. And often it's said that that is financially not a smart move to make. But perhaps that isn't the case. Perhaps that is the best choice financially speaking if the alternative is drawing on your own investments. Now, there are other implications to consider if you draw Social Security at 62. If your full retirement age is 67 and you decide to draw at 62, the benefit amount that you receive will be reduced by 30%. Further, if you still earn an income and you're under full retirement age for the entire year, the Social Security Administration will deduct $1 from your benefit payments for every $2 you earn above the annual limit. For 2022, that limit is $19,560. For 2023, that limit is $21,240. So that means you can earn up to that amount without your Social Security benefits being affected. However, if you earn over that amount, your benefits will be reduced accordingly. For example, if you earn $29,560, exactly $10,000 above the 2022 limit, your Social Security benefits will be reduced by $5,000. Those limits become a bit more forgiving in the year in which you actually reach full retirement age. In the year you reach full retirement age, the Social Security Administration will deduct $1 in benefits for every $3 you earn above a different threshold limit until the actual month in which you reach full retirement age. In 2022, this limit on earnings is $51,960. That limit will be increased to $56,520 in 2023. Keep in mind that any money deducted from your benefit is not permanently lost after you reach full retirement age. Social Security will recalculate your benefits and increase it to account for the benefits that it withheld earlier. Once you reach full retirement age, there's no income restriction. There's no reduction to your benefit no matter what income you receive. So let's look at Social Security from this perspective. Let's say you want to work past the age of 62. You get fulfillment from your job and the engagement it brings. And let's say that your income will be significantly higher than those threshold amounts. Well, in that case, drawing Social Security early wouldn't be the wise choice. It'd be better to wait till at least full retirement age, and then you could start drawing your Social Security without any fear that your income would cause your benefit amount to be reduced. Ultimately, when it is best for you to draw Social Security heavily depends on your personal situation. There's no blanket statement that can be made saying it's best to draw early or it's best to delay filing. There are so many factors to consider. If you retire early, claiming benefits early at the age of 62 very well could be the best choice financially if the alternative is drawing on your own investments. In that way, you could actually reduce the amount that you draw on your own investments, leaving more money invested, leaving compounding to work its magic and grow your money over time. That gives your money the most growth potential. And when it comes to claiming early, maybe you're just tired of working a regular job and it would bring you greater happiness to be retired, but you have to do it knowing that you're locking in a lower monthly benefit. If you decide to work until full retirement age and delay collecting Social Security until that time, you're entitled to 100% of your full retirement benefit. You lock in a higher monthly benefit. It will take 12 or 13 years, so until the age of 78 or 79, until that delay proves worthwhile in terms of net benefit received. But net benefit received isn't the only factor to consider. Locking in a higher benefit, which could be as much as $1,000 per month higher by claiming at full retirement age, could be a big deal. At the very least, it's going to be several $100s. You have to ask yourself, what would this extra monthly money allow you to do in retirement? Would it influence your lifestyle? Would it enable you to make ends meet on a monthly basis? Would it allow you to do things that you want to do in retirement? If the answer is yes, then maybe waiting till full retirement age is the better age to start drawing. You have to ask yourself those similar questions if you're considering delaying till 70. Deciding when to take Social Security is based off so many different questions, many of which are impossible to know the answer to. Most glaringly obvious is, when will you pass away? As morbid as the question may be, it's one of the most important factors to consider, because if you pass away before the age of 78, 79, or 80, depending on what your monthly benefit is, you're almost always better off having drawn early in terms of net benefit received. I say almost always because there are situations in which people prefer to continue working and delay collecting so they can lock in a higher benefit. Net benefit received isn't always the most important factor, because if you retire early and lock in a lower benefit, but that lower benefit leaves you scraping by every single month barely to make ends meet, that's not the best choice. Also, you're planning life a decade or two down the road. And largely, much of that is unknowable. Being attuned to your finances and tracking your spending prior to retirement can absolutely help you prepare. But when you're looking at a 10 or a 20-year time horizon, inevitably there's gonna be some gray area there. Then you have to consider that there is an emotional component to this as well. Yes, numbers are black and white, purely analytical, but the people who interpret them aren't. So inevitably, this will influence your decision on when to draw. What do you think is the best age to start drawing Social Security? Let me know your thoughts in a comment down below. I post new videos every single week. If you got anything at all out of this one, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, or if you know of someone who might get something out of this type of content, please consider sharing. I hope you have a good one. Bye. Different ages, expectancy, and an analysis of opportunities. A lot of, now at first glance, fractional max is allowed at various ages, or simply because they're the numbers published by the Social Security Administration. The Social Security, it's for those 2 and 7, for individual ages, individual ranges, off collecting, so keeping the numbers, keeping the numbers. Whew. Waiting. To work its magic. I don't like that. Draw out, and when will you pass away? What will you be doing? If on Social Security, full retire, our investor, and delay collect numbers per sec on Social Security, and that would other restrictions. Sometimes you just get stuck. Your restrictions. I cannot finish this. all.